All right. Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Higgins coming to you live, and welcome everybody to episode 5 of Daniel's Den. We've overcome some adversity to be here today, tonight, this afternoon. No matter where you're at in this awesome world we live in, we welcome you to episode 5 of Daniel's Den, right? So we're just gonna have a little conversation real quick about self-talk. Oh my goodness. The audio, the information that I'm about to share with you from Jim Rohn and then a little bit of details for myself will absolutely put you in position to be successful this year. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today in Daniel's Den. Once again, I'm Daniel Higgins. I'm here to share some great content with you. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, along with Periscope and Twitter. So definitely enjoy this content. A little bit about me. I'm a husband, a father of 2 amazing boys, business management major, worship leader, and wealth builder. All right. And I'm super excited about that last part because it has positioned myself and my family for tremendous success. And I love what I'm doing right here. I love what I'm doing with Gold Standard Partners, the business that we're connected to through Wealth Builders Worldwide, an entity that has truly, completely transformed my life, transformed my thinking, and that's why I'm sharing all this great information with you. Okay. So we got some content to go into. We got some great content from Jim Rohn about thoughts and about negative and positive, and those things are part of life. So we need to embrace certain things so that we can be successful all of 2021. As I mentioned, we had to kind of overcome a little bit of technical adversities, and we've got some kinks ironed out, right? So we're here live with you today, tonight, this afternoon, just depending on where you're at in this awesome world that we're living in. And the whole goal of Daniel's Den is, ideally, to be honest with you, I'm very, very sad that with everything going on with COVID, that we're not able to connect with each other the same way. I'm not able to conduct live events, which I love doing. I love connecting with people. So this is what I'm doing to connect more on the digital front with people all around the world. I also host live events called Kickstart Your Dreams, which are very, very focused on giving people tools to kickstart their dreams for their year, right? And kickstart their dreams to be successful in any endeavor that they're going to. So here in Daniel's Den, we're going to share some great content. So hold on, strap in, because Jim Rohn's not going to hold back. What's up, Richard James? How you going, sir? Good to see you on the stream, sir. Thank you for always joining in. So, guys, let's jump into this content. I'm super excited about this content, and I'm even more excited about the little things, the little tidbits that I have for you after this audio. Okay, so as this audio plays, I won't be able to contain myself. There's going to be some things that I'm going to have to point out. There's going to be a few things that I'm going to have to jump in and say hi, or bring out a point or two here and there. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us today, this night, this afternoon. Just depends, or this morning. Just depends on what part of the awesome world you're in. So let's jump in here now. There's a phrase that absolutely floored me when I heard it. And Jim Rohn said these words. He said, "Words are a way of seeing." And I am still meditating, still gleaning from that phrase. So enjoy this information that he's going to talk about, positive and negative. So let's jump in.
Subjects to cover here to finish up with. Here's the first one. It's negative. Here's the second one. It's positive. Two subjects to finish up with. The first one's negative and the second one is positive. A good way to wrap up the seminar like this day. Negative and some positive. Let me first now give you some tips on negative that really helped me. So valuable for me. I think you'll appreciate these. Here's number one. Negative is normal. Boy, that was helpful.
All right, guys, give me a few moments here. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull this information up again for us. Let's see. All right, so we'll go ahead and see if we can pull this info in. There we go. All right, looks like we're on the right track here. All right, let's see here. Okay, guys, about to just join in that video real quick. All right, let's see. I think we're good now. So let's give it a go.
Positive. Let me first now give you some tips on negative that really helped me. So valuable for me. I think you'll appreciate these. Here's number one. Negative is normal. Boy, that was helpful for me. No, it wasn't weird to be negative. Negative is normal. Normal meaning it's a part of the human experience. And it's a part of all of our experience. All of us have this same experience, the negative side of life. So negative is normal. Now, negative is not successful. But it is normal, meaning it's a part of the life experience. Here's number two. Negative is not to be ignored. Negative is very real. As soon as you've planted the garden, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it all. We have two things going for us in our human experience. Here's one, opportunity, and here's number two, the threat to the opportunity. So we deal with both of these twin scenarios in life, opportunity and the threat. Now, the threat to opportunity we call the negative side of life. Number one, it's normal, meaning it's a part of the life experience. Number two, it's not to be ignored. I know some people teach different, but listen to them and listen to me and make up your own mind. I know some people teach, just turn your head real quick and say, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Hey, they'll take your garden. Okay. So you can't play silly mind games. You say, well, then how can you have a good garden? Well, you got to kill weeds. So here's number 3. Negative is to be mastered or conquered. That's part of the life experience. Now, this twin scenario of the life experience is unique. Negative, positive. In fact, we could probably get into quite a philosophical discussion if we wanted to. Would there be positive without negative? Here's the best I've been able to come up with. It doesn't seem like it. That's about the best I can come up with. Here's what it seems like. It seems like, based on our our finite awareness now, since we're not infinite, we're finite, meaning creatures of the world, for the moment at least. That's about the best we can come up with. It seems like it takes both to make a unique human experience, both negative and positive. In fact, one suggests the other. Would there be life without death? It doesn't seem like it. What makes life valuable? Death? Somebody asked me once if I had a good description of life, and I said, yes, I think I do. Life is the struggle to keep death at a respectable distance. Oh. Death seems to want to move in, prematurely, get us. So to have a good, long, flourishing life, what do you have to do? Push back, push back, push back, push back. Now, if you don't push it back, it pushes you back. There's a push-shove going on here, and it's this negative-positive stuff. Would there be light without darkness? It doesn't seem like it. One suggests the other. Would there be success without failure? Well, I don't think so. You wouldn't call it success. You'd have to call it something else. It's the twin scenario that makes life interesting, fascinating, wondrous in its possibility, but also dangerous in part of the content. So this is the best I've been able to come up with. Negative is normal. It's not to be ignored, but it is to be conquered and mastered. But it is part of the experience. Don't deny yourself.
I love how you said that. Don't deny yourself. You got to embrace both sides and be able to, of course, address the negative and then enjoy the positive. But don't pretend like it's not there, because it's there. It's part of that life experience. So that's huge right there.
The opportunity to drink from both cups, negative, positive, that's the life experience. And hey, you wouldn't have it any other way. What if you went to listen to a symphony orchestra one evening and the symphony orchestra only played little happy high notes all evening? Just little happy high notes all evening, little happy high notes. How much of that could you take? A whole evening of little happy high notes? No, that doesn't represent life. Don't you want to hear the crash of the cymbals? The music that'll scare you to death, describing the tragedy as well as the triumph. Yes, that's part of the life experience. Somebody says, well, I've been taught to be all positive. Well, you'll be some kind of freako then. Ship you off to la positive land. That's not a life experience. Come on. What if the minister only prayed happy prayers every Sunday? How much of that could you take? Happy, happy every Sunday, happy, happy every Sunday, happy. No. Who's going to pray angry prayers? Who's going to pray frustrated prayers? Who's going to weep in public for the lost children? Come on. Negative and positive. In fact, in one sweep of one sentence, ancient script says it best. There's a time to laugh. Of course. And once you've learned to laugh, just keep on laughing. No. There's a time what? To cry. And you've got to be so sophisticated and well educated that you don't laugh when it's time to cry. Come on. Another writer said, rejoice with those that rejoice. But that's not the end of it. It also says what? Weep. Weep with those that weep. You don't laugh when somebody's weeping. You what? See if you can't think of something to cry about when somebody's crying. You got to drink from both cups. Negative is
And that's the big part right there. You gotta drink from both cups. I love that phrase. It's very important because we have to have that balance of both, you know. You can't just be all the way on the other side, positive, positive all the time. So those things charge each other too, especially when you think about negative and positive energy and you think about negative and positive just in nature. You can't have one without the other. They balance each other out and help us enjoy this life, right? So, man, I love that audio from Jim Rohn. So definitely some good stuff right there. And then, as we think about, positive and negatives, and we think about what we're moving forward into for this 2021, things that we have in terms of goals, aspirations, you want to be aware of what you're thinking about. You want to be aware of your talk, okay, your self talk. And your self talk is going to be guided by those thoughts, right? By the negative and positive that you have going on in your life. They're going to be affected by that. It's going to happen, right? So all those things are going to feed into that. But you want to do your best to control your self talk as much as possible. So I can't take myself, I can't do everything in terms of being like super serious all the time, right? Well, we're just talking about negative and positive, right? So you can't be always serious or always jovial. You got to find that happy medium at times, and you have to bounce yourself back and forth depending on what the situation is. Like Jim Rohn just said, he said, "Hey, listen, there's a time to mourn, and you can't be laughing when it's time to mourn. It doesn't add up. You have to be and have that emotional intelligence." So as we talk about self-talk, guys, let's go ahead and jump in here. So your self-talk is going to act as a filter for everything you hear, everything you see. So you're listening to this information, you're like, okay, you're filtering this information right now. Everybody filters information because you're going to hear the words that I'm saying, or you're going to hear the information, and you're going to filter it through your perception. You're going to filter it through your self-talk, based on your information that you're used to, or based on the lack of information you have. You're going to filter that information. Everybody does it, and it's not something that we could avoid, right? So we have to be aware of it, just like the negative and the positive, like he said, right? Now, based on your self talk, if it's a positive self talk in the moment, right? Or if it's a negative self talk in the moment, you're going to filter the information either in a negative way or a positive way, just depending on your self talk. No one can force that upon you in terms of what your self talk is. So here's a little illustration of someone who had a positive self talk, right? So this is going to be kind of fun, interactive, kind of funny at the same time, right? Like I said, we can't be always serious and we can't be always jovial. So sometimes we have to be right in the middle, right? So we have to enjoy life, and sometimes you got to be in the middle to enjoy it. Sometimes you got to be jovial. Sometimes you got to be serious, right? So here is a presentation that my amazing business partner, Mr. Ty Best, did for someone years ago, right? And I think this is a great illustration for positive self talk, or just self talk in general, or how people filter information, right? Because everybody's going to do it. We're all going to filter information, right? So here's Mr. Ty Best. He's excited about a business, he's excited about an opportunity, right? And he wants to share and convey that to someone, right? And as you communicate to someone, of course, you always want to communicate from your heart. You always want to try and connect with people, honestly and genuinely, share something that you're passionate about, right? So he's sharing with this gentleman. This gentleman just so happens to be, an active NFL player. He's up there in the echelon. And Mr. Best, is just kind of starting out in the business. And by the way, Mr. Best is an amazing business partner. So if you're connected to Mr. Best and you're connected to our Wealth Builders Worldwide team, you know how amazing Mr. Best is, right? So Mr. Best is just now starting out, right? He's just now starting out in this business, right? And he sits with this gentleman and starts sharing information. This is what he shared, right? I believe he shared it on a napkin. He drew a dot, okay? He drew a dot, okay, on a piece of paper and said, "This is you." Right? So imagine he drew that dot right there, like that little happy face right there. He drew a dot and said, "This is you." And he said, "Man, I don't really know how it works," but he drew a circle. He's like, "You tell a lot of people, and you make money. And the gentleman said this successful NFL player, I believe he played for the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. I might be getting that part wrong of the story, right? But he looked at the circle and the dot that said, "This is you." And he said, "That sounds good. How do we get started?" So sometimes, I mean, it's good to have presentations, it's great to have PowerPoints, but just be aware people are going to filter that information. They're going to filter it through their personal experiences. They're going to filter it through what Jim Rohn just talked about, the positive and the negative. If they're in a positive mindset, they're going to filter it through that mindset and that self talk. If they're on that negative side today or that moment, they're going to filter it through that negative self talk, right? So it's really true that when you share information with someone, you really cannot say the wrong thing to the right person because that person is going to have that positive self thought and they're going to absorb it and say, "That sounds good. How do I get started?" Right? So that's just a little illustration. Like I said, we can't be too serious all the time on a PowerPoint or in a presentation, and we can't be too jovial, right? We got to sometimes be in the middle. But this is a great illustration of filter. Everybody filters, right? So just a little bit of content to help you along the way because you're like, Daniel, all you did was draw a smiley face in a circle, right? So just a little tip for everybody who's on the line. So as you think about your self-talk throughout today, tomorrow, this afternoon, wherever you're at in this world, right? Think about what you think about. And I know that phrase sounds a little weird and it's like, oh, it's just a fancy play on words. But literally, if you take inventory of your thoughts, then you can actually figure out, okay, what is my self talk on this specific topic? Or when somebody brings you information, how do you respond in that moment? You might respond on that negative side or you might respond on the positive side. So neither one is wrong or right. You just want to be aware so that you can make adjustments based on what your goals are, right? So another big thing is just challenge those thoughts. So once you start thinking about what you're thinking about, and thanks for joining Heat Chaser. Thanks for hanging out with us, Richard James. So another big thing is challenge those thoughts, right? So as you are aware of those thoughts, now you can challenge them and say, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't think this way. Okay, maybe I should go ahead change that positive self-talk or adjust to a negative self-talk or make an adjustment or vice versa, right? I think I said that backwards, right? But guys, get back to whoever's been sharing this information with you. Like I mentioned, we're connected to an amazing business. We have business partners to the likes of Mr. Ty Best, who's been in the referral marketing industry for several years, has become financially free because of that industry, right? So, absolutely. I see you, Heat Chaser. We have to give thanks for the teachers. Absolutely. Because we are surrounded by amazing leaders and teachers. The gentleman I'm talking about, Mr. Todd Betts, he's been financially free now for over 25 years. So, one of the success principles straight from Think and Grow Rich says if you can connect with someone who already has that experience, just learn from them. Learn those success principles, right? Not everybody's going to be successful in the way that you want to emulate. So you want to go ahead and connect with someone who already is there, right? Or someone who can guide you. Having a mentor, having someone who's actually completed the task that you want to do, those are good people. Those are very, very good people to connect with and hang out with and make sure that you're following them. All right. So I see you, Heat Chaser. Thank you for that comment. All right, guys. So that's it. It's short and sweet. We, of course, are connected to Wealth Builders Worldwide, an amazing global team that literally develops leaders. Okay, and on a global scale, right? And we've helped several people become financially free, financially secure, financially independent. How do we do that? Helping the mindset, right? And we have a tool through Gold Standard Partners that will help you become financially free if that's your desire, or if you just want to create more income for yourself or for your family. Whatever your goal is, we literally have a way for you to get there. Have that positive self talk. And let's get you connected, right? Get back with whoever's sharing this information with you. We literally have free webinars and support for you every single day of the week. Sunday nights, we have a fast start training, but throughout the week, Monday through Saturday, we have two global webinars every single day, Monday through Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with live Q&A. So we'll be able to definitely build your leadership skill if you so desire to grow. If you're just here to create more income for yourself and you're not interested in building a team, that's fine too. We have so many things to help you reach your goals and dreams. All right. So, guys, get back with the person sharing this information with you as soon as you can. Right. And if you're watching this on my YouTube or Periscope or anything like that, go ahead, subscribe, comment, like this post, share this post, and then right down there on y1income.com, go ahead, get your free registration completed. You're watching us on a free platform called YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, right? Facebook, you're watching us on a free platform. So get back with that person that's sharing this with you so that you can get your free gold standard partners account. Okay. Get it while it is available for free. Okay. Get it while the registration is free. Hint, hint, clue, clue. I didn't freeze. Hint, hint, clue, clue, right? All right, so get back with whoever's sharing this information with you guys right away. And then just a little bit more from me. Thank you. Thank you for joining Daniel's Den today, tonight, this morning. Like I mentioned, take immediate action. Get back with whoever's sharing this with you. If that person is me, my contact information is right there. You'll get all of my contact information as you get your free registration completed in y1income.com. You're like, Daniel, you didn't explain the business to me. I don't know what you're talking about in terms of the business. That's fine. Go to our website, y1income.com. Right there, right there. Go to y1income.com. Get your free registration. And if you want to learn more about the business, there's short videos there that you can view so that you know how to move forward. Okay. We are doing something that has never been done before. People are replacing the incomes. Woo! There's so much good stuff happening in our global team. All right. So, guys, get back with whoever's sharing this information with you. So, thank you once again to everybody who's hanging out with us today, tonight, this afternoon. And I will see you guys on the next live